Yep, extremely, very, very short time and no 73 round and probably no echo lake. Yeah, Dale, I got to go to an appointment that just came up this morning just less than 10 minutes ago. So very, very short time and no 73 round.
All right, are you going to stick around for the start of the net, James? He must have been a really short timer.
Thank you very much. KG5PT monitoring. Going to go make me a coffee. Go make some coffee.
All right, James. Have a great day, 7-3, and I'll listen for you after we start the net. If you're there, that's fine. If you have to leave, we'll go ahead. W5OG. It'll be starting up in about 14 minutes.
Thank you for the relay, John.
No problem. You're about 10 to 15 over here, James. Really good signal.
You do too. Sounds like you're getting over that cold too. Sounds like you're sounding a lot better, John.
I would appreciate that, John, very much. WA6LJS, yeah, if you could listen for K070. I don't have the echo link up yet, but I'll get it going. But if you could bring him in, that'd be great. Appreciate it. WA6LJS, W5OG.
Okay, no problem. We'll do. W5OG, WA6LJS, standing by for the Flyers net beginning at the top of the hour.
W5OG, W5ABI, you're 15 over, Bill. I guess the band's back to normal, over.
Yeah, good. I got you good today, Joe. It was strange yesterday. At the start there, you were, I couldn't even hardly hear you. And then later on, you did, the band improved. So we're starting off with a path this morning there, Joe. W5ABI, W5OG.
Yeah, the W5OG, W5ABI, yeah, the 60 and 70 mile an hour winds here shifted my Hicks beam about 45 degrees, so it's pointed right at you. I'm going to have to go out after the net and reposition it to line up with the rotor, over.
Roger. Well, it sounds good, Joe. It's working for you fine now. W5OG be the net control for the Air Force's Flyers Club net starting up in about 12 minutes.
W5ABI, WW5ENZ.
The usual, Joe. 10 over.
Yeah, thanks for the report. I got two of you in there. N5B, I think Mike's trying to call me. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, sorry, I think I doubled with somebody there. Sorry about that. Hey, Joe, mine did that too, and you know what I did? I took the rotor, right, and you grab the center and you pull it out and then turn the pointer to where you want it to be.
Yeah, I could do that, but I need help. I can't climb ladders or anything like that, and I can lower the antenna, but I got to have somebody else to help me put it back up. So I'm not happy with this G450A I have. It's a piece of junk. It's not like I got one that's 40 years old, the Yaesu. I think it's the GS1000. And I rebuilt it about 20 years ago. Put all new bearings in it. And I'll tell you what, it's nothing shifted on the other antenna.
Wow, that's great. Yeah. No, I was just talking about the inside. I wasn't saying going out. In other words, where your hex beam is pointed like wherever you want it, like north. You can go in and on mine, you can pull the little center out and adjust the needle. You know, the actual pointer from inside.
Yeah, but mine's already set it north as far as I can go on the inside control, and the antenna's pointing due east.
Yeah, roger that. So you just go in and you move the needle due east, and you're good to go for a little while.
Yeah, I'll see what I can do after the net. It's supposed to be a pretty decent day. So anyhow, you got a good signal here. W5ABI.
Hey, yeah, roger that. W5ABI. You're about 15 over here, Joe. WW5ENZ.
Okay, W5, thanks for the report. W5ABI, standing by for net.
W5OG, W7VJS.
Yeah, W7AJN. Good morning, John. Go ahead, W5OG.
Good morning, Dale. I'm going to also check in and out this morning. I've got a 9 o'clock appointment. It takes me a half hour to get there. So I'm going to just check in and check out. Just wishing everybody a wonderful day. W7AJN. Welcome to Nashville.
Okay, John. Well, thanks for letting us know. Hope the appointment goes well, and have a great day. 7-3 to you, and we'll see you tomorrow, hopefully. Hope everything else is going well with the ladies here. So 7-3, John, W7AJN, W5OG. You're signed in and out.
This is K2SJP, standing by for the Air Force's Flyers Subnet.
K2SJP, W5ABI, you're 9 over, Bob.
Yeah, W5ABI, Joe, you're about 10 over 9 right now. Sometimes you're a little bit stronger, but you're doing real good.
Thanks for the report. K2SJP, W5ABI, standing by for net.
Your audio sounds great, Bob. What if you are you at Lutz this morning? K2SJP, W5OG.
Good morning, Dale. W5OG, K2SJP. Well, I'm kind of watching it. It's the same microphone that I'm using on the Echo Link, so I'm kind of watching the audio level.
It sounds great. You're 20 over. Are Are you in Lutz?
I sure am. Still here in Lutz. Might be leaving later this afternoon for holiday.
Okay. Anyway, mighty fine, big signal there, as always. W5OG be starting up in the Air Force's Flyers Club Net in 5 minutes.
Good morning, Bob. K2SJP, WA6LJS. You're about 5 over 9.
Yeah, WA6LJSK2SJP. You're not quite as strong. You're almost running a 9. And hope you're feeling better, John.
Yeah, I'm doing a lot better today, but for sure. And don't have the bad cough as bad, so it just was a typical cold. It had to run its course. Anyway, so far good conditions. I'm hearing everybody except AJN was down in my noise. This WA6LJS standing by for the Flyers Net starting in a couple minutes.
Load yourself up with plenty of vitamins. Get your immune system going real good. K2SJP standing by.
Roger. And good morning, ABI. Yeah, you came up too. What did you do?
Nothing. I think it's just conditions. Boy, you were down. I couldn't even copy you. Now you're about 9 to 10 over.
Yeah, exactly the same conditions here. I was only hearing you on the SDR a few minutes ago, but now you're 10 over. WA6LJS standing by.
Morning, Bob. K2SJP, KG5PT. Good signal into Texas.
You too, James. You're coming in at a good 5 and 9 plus 10 dB.
It's that time of the morning. This is Whiskey 5 Oscar Golf, and I will be net control for the Air Force's Flyers Club Net starting right now on 14290. We meet here every day of the year at this time, and members of the Air Force's Flyers Club Net are members of the group are active duty retired and veterans of the military air forces from all branches. And we include air crew, ground crew, air traffic controllers, support personnel, and pretty much anybody that's associated with getting the airplanes or missiles in the air from all the branches of the military armed forces. We include air crew, ground crew, air traffic controller. Oh, I mentioned, I already said that. We like to welcome visitors to join us. You don't have to have any aviation experience or military experience in order to check into the net. The purpose of our group is to promote fellowship between those of us that radio amateurs that spend a portion of our lives supporting the missions of the aviation portion of our armed forces. This is a control net, contact net control. Please use the words contact, relay, info, or check-in. We have a great website. You can check out all about us. It's airforcesflyersclub.org. Again, Air Forces, plural, flyers, plural, club.org. Format for the net each day is to take a list off of NetLogger. And if you are not familiar with NetLogger, you can just download the program and run it on your computer, and it will then direct you to the Air Forces Flyers Club net every morning. You don't have to do it that way. You can check in over the air. We'll take over the air check-ins here just shortly. Doing the net logging duties is N5BE again this morning. Thank you, Lee. Got that started early. I was doing some other things here and didn't get a chance to get in early, like I normally like to do when I'm doing the net. And we do have an Echolink node. It's AFFC on Echolink, and we'll use that to back up the HF. And K0ZNC will be brought in by WA6LJS off of Echolink. So far on the list this morning, I have the following stations. A very, very short timer, KG5BTE. And we'll get you in and out, James, right quick. Also, Don, as I mentioned, K0ZNC is in there. Good morning, Don. And Uncle Cliff, I haven't heard you yet, Cliff, but hopefully we'll get you on the SCR. W5BIX and in the Mobile. And as I mentioned, N5BE, my neighbor just to the west in Arlington, Texas. And I didn't mention that that I'm located out in the country here in East Texas, about 100 miles east of Dallas. And my name is Dale, by the way, Delta Alpha Lima Echo. I forgot that part also. And again, the call is W5OG. Next on the list, getting back to business, WW5ENZ Mike. And Wild Bill, W2WLD. And John out in Hamel, WA6LJS. And Ray, WB2JJO is with us. Good morning, Ray. And Joe with the big signal, W5ABI. And another one with the big signal, K2SJP. And Charlie, K4YDB, and I hope that you got all that question of the day on the live stream there, Charlie. I am assuming that you do. Sometimes that's dangerous, I know, but you're pretty good at it. You would have let me know if you'd had any problems. So thank you, Charlie, for doing the live stream. For those of you that want to look at the question of the day, you can do that. If you go to YouTube and search for K4YDB, select live stream, and you'll find it there. I usually use the circle with the C47 to help direct me to the live stream. And also, last on the list so far is Mike, KQ6E in Anthem, Arizona. Mighty fine. All right, that's the list as I have it so far. The only short timer that I show are James and, of course, our regular short timer, Don K0ZNC. Let me take check-ins over the air. Check-ins for the Air Forces Flyers Club net this Thursday morning. Members are guests. Call now.
Alpha Delta 9, Delta Romeo.
Alpha Delta 9, is it Delta Romeo?
USL.
give me your name and QTH here if you would.
Name here is Dennis, Delta Echo, November, India Sierra. We're located in Illinois, a little town called Diamond. Delta India, Alpha, Mike, Oscar, November, Delta.
Oh, well, I had trouble with that. You're right in my noise. Anybody can relay Dennis there?
Yeah, he's in Diamond,
Dennis, just give me your, is it Diamond, Illinois? Is that correct, Dennis? Over. Well, he didn't come back. Alpha Delta 9 Delta Romeo. Give me your QTH one more time there. Over.
QTH is Diamond, Illinois. Delta India, Mike, Oscar, November, Delta.
I'm not getting the other part, but I think it is Diamond, Illinois. We got you there on the list, Dennis. We'll get to you early in the net here. All right, let's try a call out for additional check-ins there, John, from the West Coast. WA6LJS, W5OG.
Wilco, this WA6LJS relaying for the Thursday morning Air Force Flyers Net. We're looking for check-ins, either members or visitors. Called out. All's quiet on the West Coast. Back to net.
Thank you, John. How about you, Bill? W2WLD. Put a call out from Scotia there, if you would. W5OG.
Now, Wilco, this is W2WLD, relaying for net control for the Air Force Flyers Club Net. We're taking check-ins. Members or guests, call now. No, it's quiet, Bill.
All right, thank you, Bill. All right, quickly, the question of the day has to do with Operation Deep Freeze 2025. And March the 7th, and you can see this again on the live stream on YouTube with K4YDB. You don't need to write everything down if you don't, well, you probably won't anyway, but it's a little involved this morning. March the 7th marks the end of this year's USAF airlift resupply to McMurdo Station, Antarctica. This year's airlift was mainly notable because of two reasons. The first was the use of a new airlift platform, C-130H, not necessarily new, but first time that they had been used in the Operation Deep Freeze. C-130H aircraft from the Nevada Air National Guard, which were used to supplement the regular LC-130H Hercules ski birds, which are the part of the New York National Guard, and they're up there near Bill, W2WLD. And we've talked about them before. So anyway, they are supplementing the regular LC-130H Hercules ski birds and the Boeing C-17 Globemaster aircraft. Today's question, what was the second unique feature of this year's summer resupply operation? What was the second unique feature? Was it answer alpha? Was it that the Air Force use of helicopters at McMurdo Station for the first time? Use of helicopters by the Air Force for the first time. Or was it Bravo, an ice runway built on the seasonal sea ice of McMurdo Sound that can handle all aircraft, including the C-17? Was it answer Bravo, an ice runway built on the seasonal sea ice of McMurdo Sound that can handle all aircraft, including the C-17? Or answer Charlie, the Lockheed Martin won a $2 billion contract to hire and manage the people and facilities that make Antarctic research possible. Answer Charlie again. Lockheed Martin was awarded a $2 billion contract to hire and manage the people and facilities that make Antarctic research possible. Or the answer Delta. the airlift of heavy equipment needed by the Seabees to rebuild a pier at McMurdo Station where ships offload cargo and supplies. Answer Delta, the airlift of heavy equipment to rebuild a pier at McMurdo Station where ships offload cargo and supplies. And a bonus question. What year did Operation Deep Freeze begin? It's pretty simple. Answer Alpha is 1959. Bravo is 58. Charlie is 57. And Delta is 56. Answer A again, 1959. RB in 1958. C, 1957. Or D, 1956. Kind of a cumbersome way to do that, perhaps, but the answers are matched. So it'll help you get the answer to the first one, maybe if you only have to look up when it started. We're not out to buffalo anybody here with these questions. Anyway, the answers are matched. So if you're going to pick answer A for the helicopters, you would want to pick answer A, 1959. So forth. All right, let's go ahead and get started with our real short timer there. James, if you're still there. KG5PT. You're up, James, W5OG.
Well, W5OG, KG5PT, well, since Siri tells me that the year Operation Deep Freeze began was 1955, both Google and Siri say 1955, and none of them are listed on the bonus question. I'm going to go Delta Delta. How's that sound? I have no idea. Seriously, I just asked Siri and Google what year did Operation Deep Freeze begin, and they told me 1955. So I have no idea. So I'm going to go Delta Delta. I'm just going to flip a quarter. Y'all have a great day. I'm out of here. KG5PT, 7-3 to the Flyers.
All right, James. Hopefully we'll see you over on Echo Link either right after this net or perhaps this afternoon. So have a good, I don't know if you're going to see Dr. Feelgood or just what, but anyway, good appointment there. And got your answer, Delta Delta. All right, Don, let's go to you there in Longmont. K0ZNC, and if you'd bring him in, appreciate it there, John. WA6LJS, W5OG.
Yeah, K0ZNC, you're up, Don. WA6LJS, Simo.
Frequencies in use, please stop tuning up.
Charlie. Oh, I don't think that's right either.
on there today, and we'll turn back to you, W5OG. W6OJS, W6LJS, back to net.
Okay, good simulcast there, John. Thank you for that, and very fine, Don. I hope everything is going well with you. I didn't catch the weather, whatever is going on there, and we can expect to get whatever you're having today, probably tomorrow or the next day. So it usually works that way. Anyway, let's see what happened. I'm not hearing myself on the SDR. Okay, now I got it. All right, let's move along. Let's go to Uncle Cliff, W5BIX in the Mobile. Good morning, Cliff, W5OG.
Well, good morning, W5OG, W5PIX here, and I'm here myself on SDR2 at the moment. And we'll be real quick. We'll go Delta for the answer. It's 54 degrees here in Bruceville, Eddie. I am southbound I-35. Got beautiful, beautiful morning now with no dust in the air. So blue skies, not a cloud. I would like to see some rain, though. Let me get my truck dirty for once. Well, anyway, good question there, Bill. Yeah, I learned about it about 1956. I was in kindergarten. Anyway, thank you, W5OG, W5PIX Mobile.
Okay there, Cliff. Well, yeah, I hate to admit that, but I was already a licensed radio amateur by that time. and actually, by 56, I was active on the air, so kind of neat. And I remember when this thing started up, but I'm not going to give it this, and that necessarily is the answer, but I remember where I was in 56 as well. Anyway, got your answer, Delta. Let's go to Lee, N5BE. Good morning, Lee, and thanks for the help, as always, W5OG.
W5OG, N5BE. Well, Dale, in 1956, I was in kindergarten, but I was an avid aviation enthusiast back then. That's where it started. I may talk about that someday. Back in the day when we lived in Monterey, California, the LC-130s would do some workup out there on the West Coast before they went down to the South Pole or to McMurdo. So we used to see them a lot in Monterey. I don't know why they went there for their workup. Probably for the food. Anyway, we used to see them quite a bit. Thank you for matching the answers. You saved my bacon. I was going down a path that was not good. So I'm going Delta, Dale, because I do believe the first season was 55-56. So that saves me on the primary question. And one last thing. After the net yesterday, I was tooling around on 20 looking for some DX. And I hear this aeronautical mobile calling. Says, oh, what the heck, you know. So I call him back. Cessna Citation Longitude, what a beautiful airplane, over Arkansas, November 1, Quebec. And we had the best QSO going on until we just faded off with each other. But, that's some of that serendipity magic that only this hobby can bring. And that was fun. I enjoyed that one. W5OG N5BE.
Okay, Lee, that's very interesting because I heard him again this morning. In fact, he was here on 290. There was a POTUS station, and he called in and worked in Virginia, and he called in and worked at the Virginia station. I was doing something else here, but I had the radio on, monitoring the frequency early. And I did hear November 1, Quebec, Aeronautical Mobile. So he didn't give his airplane, but that's interesting. Yeah, that Longitude is a beautiful airplane for sure, and quite a performer. All right, let's move along to Mike, WW5ENZ. Good morning, Mike. You're up, W5OG.
All right, W5OG, WW5ENZ. Yeah, it's a pretty nice day here today. We got sun anyway, and hopefully we're going to, it's 47 though. Hopefully we're going to get up in the 60s, I would hope. Yesterday, I don't think we got out of the 40s, but anyway, it was really windy. You know, we had like 50-mile-an-hour gusts in the afternoon, so crap. But right now, winds are calm, and so life is good. Anyway, as far as this question goes, it's very interesting. I'm just thinking about that as far as a mission, and that sounds pretty wild and crazy. And I was just gonna, I was laughing when you were talking about 1956. I was like 5 years old then, so yeah, I had not a clue. Anyway, I was thinking it was I don't know. 55, 56 area there, but that's from ancient history, so I'm not real sure. Anyway, but I'll go with double D's. Never know. Usually Don always gets it right, so I don't know. But I'm going to go with double D anyway. This time I'm going to go with with Lee. Anyway, everybody take care. I'll be here to the bottom, and I'll be hanging around. If you need anything, give me a shout. WW5ENZ, turning it back to W5OG.
Okay, Mike. Fine. Double D for you as well. And, you know, I didn't bring my, I fully intended to bring our guest in this morning, Dennis, there in Diamond, Illinois. I hope he's stuck around for a few minutes. Let me just go to him right quick. See if he has anything for the net. Alpha Delta 9 Delta Romeo. Dennis, if you're still there, you're up for the net. W5OG. Anybody here, Dennis?
I'm not hearing him at all.
Yeah, I heard him before, but I don't hear him now. I was afraid maybe he was not going to stick around. Anyway, let's move along to Wild Bill there, W2WLD. Good morning, Bill. I guess you still see those LC 138, the seabirds anyway there at the National Guard in New York. And they're very interesting. They're getting along in the tooth, as you might imagine. And they're going to have to decide what to do. Whether we replace them with new 130s, that's probably what they'll do. I don't know. And I think they're in the process of making a decision on that now. Maybe you know something locally about the future of that operation, Bill. W2WLD, you're up, W5OG.
Well, good morning, Dale. Good morning, all. The propagation is really good today. Quite a contrast with yesterday. It's cloudy and 60, and I don't have any inside information on what's going on at the Stratton Air National Guard. We're probably 5 miles from there, and when there's a certain runway pattern, they do their touch and goes, and they fly right over the skylight that I have in our den, and I look up, and about half the time I can spot them going over. First, let me thank Don for the reminder, and I'll wish everybody a happy vernal equinox day. Quick story, when I was up for my first squadron command, on the list of squadrons that were available was VXE-6, and that was the Navy squadron that was supporting Operation Deep Freeze at the time. So I did put that down as one of my choices, but I don't know how it works in the Air Force, but its needs of the service come first before your preference. So I was assigned to a training outfit in Corpus Christi, which I really enjoyed. Anyway, enough about me.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the pair of Ds, Delta, Dale. W5OG, W2WLD.
Oh, very interesting, Bill. Yeah, mighty fine. And yeah, I couldn't find out too much about what the future holds for the LC-130s, but you know, they need to make a decision, I think. All right, let's move along, and we'll go to John, WA6LJS. Thanks for the help as always, John, and glad your cold is getting a bit better. Sounds like you still have it, but perhaps recovering. W5OG, go ahead, John.
Okay, thank you, Dale. W5OG, this is WA6LJS. Good morning to the net. Well, pretty good conditions today. The only ones that I couldn't hear was W7AJN, but ABI was weak at first, and then before the net started, he came in there real strong. Let's see, it's 47 degrees, clear blue sky, plenty of sun. We're going to be up into the high 70s for long. We're hitting a period of some bright, sunny, warm days here, and we'll have that for probably five days or more. Answer to the question, well, there's pretty strong lemon line, so I'm going to go with it. Put me down for DD, Delta, and yeah, I believe 1956 was when I was first licensed too, in high school there, and got my novice license. A friend of a close buddy of mine, we went and tested together and got our licenses, and we built some real ancient type CW transmitters, and he was only about 6 or 7 miles away from my house, and we used to converse some CW quite a bit on 40 meter CW. Other than that, I'll turn it back to you, and I'll be here for the bottom, and if Don is still in there, I'll bring him in again. The W5OG, WA6LJF.
Okay, John. Yeah, you know, it's amazing how many of us have spent our life with amateur radio. You know, it's a lifelong avocation, I guess. Now life gets in the way some, and I had 2 careers in addition to interest in amateur radio, and but I was continuously licensed for that whole time. I actually first got my license in 1955, so very interesting. Thank you, John, for that, and we'll move along. Let's go to Ray, WB2JJO. Ray, you're up, W5OG.
W5OG from WB2JJO. Well, good morning to you, Dale, and everyone on the net. Well, I tell you what, we have a very good yesterday compared to what we had yesterday. I'm hearing everybody on the electric radio, so it's a good deal. As far as our weather is concerned, well, we're not doing too good. We have, believe it or not, it's 11, almost 11:30 here in the morning, and we have overcast and fog, F-O-G, fog, which is strange, but we have it here for a while, so it'll be a while before it burns off. We don't usually get fog, but we have it this time. So anyway, that's the strange on the weather here. I'm listening to everybody else's weather, and they're doing pretty good, so I guess we're the last ones. But anyway, as far as you guys mentioned about being what you call a license, I was licensed in high school in 1964. That's where I got my license, and like Hallfine is original. Right from 1964, and like you, I kept it right through right through my career. So this is my original call. And as far as the answer is concerned on the deep freeze, my answer is 1956. So that'll be a Delta. And I was 9 years old then, in 1956. That was a long, long time ago there, Dale. So the answer for me is Delta on the question, and hopefully you're hearing me okay. I'm hearing you fine on the radio, and I'm also hearing you very good on the XDR. So, Dale, back over to you. W5OG, WB2, JJO.
Okay, Ray, mighty fine. Let me ask you a question, Ray. How far is Petersburg from McGuire Air Force Base here? I think they call it some joint base now, but whatever it is. But anyway, how far are you from McGuire there, Ray? Over.
I'm looking to the state about 75 miles.
Oh, it's farther than I thought. All right, 75 miles. That's interesting. I was going to say, because I've been to McGuire many times when they had fog. So I was just surprised that you said that we don't often have fog. Anyway, mighty fine there, Ray. Quagmire, that's what we used to call McGuire. All right, let's move along to Joe. W5ABI. Good morning again, Joe. You're up, W5OG.
W5OG and the Flyers, W5ABI. Yeah, boy, better conditions than yesterday, that's for sure. Signals are back to normal. Cold morning here, had a low of about 25 yesterday. When I heard about that, I put all the covers on the hose bibs so we don't freeze over. Anyhow, it's 38 now, supposed to go up to 69, but it's warming up. We're supposed to hit 81, I think, in about 3 or 4 days. So crazy weather here in Las Cruces. Yeah, I had a comment, but speaking about getting a license, John, I got my novice the same year as John, 1956. I think I got my general the next year in 57. So we're about the same age. I think I'm 6 months older than John. Anyhow, boy, beautiful morning here. It's sunshine, no wind. Boy, that wind shifted my X-beam about 45 degrees due east. So I'm going to have to get out there and line it up with the control box in here. But anyhow, other than that, I'm going to go with Delta. We'll be here to the bottom. Thanks for running the net, Neil. W5OG, W5ABI.
All right, Joe, mighty fine. Great signal with your SB220 and your X-beam there. You're doing a good job. Bob, K2SJP, another big signal. Go ahead, Bob. You're up, W5OG.
W5OG, this is K2SJP. And good morning again, Dale. Good morning to all the Flyers. This morning, we don't have a tremendous group today, but just nice. On the question, I knew Operation Deep Freeze started in 1955, so I would say 1956 is your closest year. That would be Delta, and you said it's a match pair, which would say the other answer would be to rebuild a pier. That I really have no idea, but it's going to have to be Delta, just by process of elimination. So everything's doing good over here. We got a lot of work done over the last couple of days here in Lutz without going back to holiday. We probably will be going back this afternoon, so you might hear me on Echo Link at the 6 o'clock get-together from holiday. Probably, I'm not sure yet. Depends on how much I can get done here before I've got to leave. So that's about it. Back to you, Dale. And glad to hear you in there, John, that you're feeling better. And I don't know if you've talked to Bob again. And our prayers are with Bob, K1VOB, on his injury. I certainly hope he's improving with that. So back to you, Dale. W5OG, K2SJP. We'll be here till the end.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything from Bob yesterday. He is back home, I do know that. I mean, he is struggling with injuries that he encountered in his dad's fall. And for those of you who didn't know, hospitalized. He's been a couple of days in the hospital. So anyway, we hope that he's on the road to recovery, and I know he's suffering with that, balancing the pain from a couple of compressed discs there. Not very pleasant at all. Anyway, we wish him a speedy recovery. I was hoping maybe he might be back on here this morning, but so far we haven't heard from him. All right, Bob, mighty fine there. Let's move along. We'll go to Charlie, K4YDB. You're up, Charlie, W5OG.
W5OG, K4YDB. Good morning, Dale. Morning to all the flyers out there and visitors. Hope everybody's having a good morning. Right now it's currently 52 degrees here. Supposed to get up into the mid-50s today. The wind is blowing between 10 and 12 miles an hour. Out of the north, it feels like 38 degrees outside because the wind is so bad. It's dry, really dry. But anyway, I looked at that question when I opened it up. I was You got lucky on that one. Another line I would have had to go to a scroll, and I didn't want to do a scroll. And I also made your picture a little bit smaller so that I could squeeze it in there. But yesterday I went to the doctor and he gave me my clean bill of health. No more therapy. I can take chair therapy if I choose to because what I did to my shoulder was I tore out all the muscles. And so basically the muscles that are tore out at the top but not at the bottom, so they're just in there. They don't serve no purpose for me anymore. So there's not a lot they can do because they can't treat muscle. So it's just play it by ear and see how it happens. What happens, they're gonna, they talked about cortisone injections, but right now I feel fine. So as long as I feel okay, I don't have to mess with it. But anyway, conditions are not bad here. I'm hearing just about everybody quite nicely. But as, as far as the question goes, put me down for Delta Delta. I'll just go along with the pack. W5OG K4YDB. I'm back to net.
All right, Charlie, mighty fine. Yeah, well, sure, you're having that problem there, but it sounds like it might be one of those, a birthday gift. Along the way, we get those little birthday gifts, if you live long enough. Anyway, mighty fine, Charlie, and thank you for doing that live stream. And I do pay attention to the limitations of your, the real estate there with your live stream when I do these questions. That's one of the reasons that sometimes it's, you don't have the latitude to really fully explain things on certain occasions. But I did want to, make note of the fact that that Operation Deep Freeze just ended here. It is kind of a timely event. All right, let's go to, Mike. Yeah, KQ6E, Mike and Anthem. Good morning, Mike. You're up, W5OG.
W5OG and the group, KQ6E. Another wonderful day in paradise. It's going to be 76 degrees here in Anthem today. And it's 60 degrees right now. As a present to all the snowbirds here for spring training, it's going to get up into the 90s next week. So before they have to head back home after spring training's over. So it's great weather and I can't complain at all. Do a few honeydews. The XYL is doing very well. She seems to have recovered completely and she's up and about. I came in this morning and she was doing chores around the house. So that's a good sign. So we have to finish up with a couple of doctors for her and hopefully things are moving forward. So things are looking up on the first day of spring. Can't complain at all. And like I say, hearing everybody pretty much of the usual suspects that I have to go to the SCR, the conditions are pretty good here today. So I'm going to go with the double D. I'm pretty sure 1956 was around 1956 was the beginning of that. And so we'll go with the rest of the lemmings on the answer. I cannot imagine doing duty in Antarctica after having the ideal assignments, Florida, Vietnam, and Southern California when I was in the Air Force. So now living in Arizona, so I am a warm weather kind of guy, and cannot imagine wearing mufflers and dealing with all the cold weather. So anyway, good to hear everybody this morning, and we'll turn it back to you and the rest of the group, W5OG and the bunch. Thank you.
Yeah, Mike, I certainly agree. And, yeah, glad to hear your wife is doing better. And, yeah, as far as, I've tried hot and cold, and believe me, I like hot better. But it is interesting. And, you know, it just brings to mind how limited we really are as human beings. And when you look at the broad spectrum of temperatures, the range of temperatures, and here we you know, it's very small, just a few degrees that we can survive in when you think about it. Anyway, that's probably a good subject for another day. Anyway, and I'll talk some more about the cold temperature operations later on. Let's go to Ken in Kingman, Arizona. He's going to join us here on the HF this morning. So glad to have you, Ken, AE7SX. Your turn, W5OG.
W5OG indeed. AE7SX. Good morning to all the players. Yeah, it's a beautiful day here in Kingman, Arizona. The sun's out, temperature's 49 degrees, and there is no wind, which is noteworthy in itself because they say that it's pretty sure the wind does blow all the time here. As far as the question goes about Antarctica, when I was not sure I really want to. In fact, in Asia, on the C-141 at our stop of Elmendorf Air Force Base in Alaska, and I got close getting off that plane in my 1505 summer uniform. So anyway, my guess on this is going to be the double D, which is one of my favorite things anyway. Anyway, I'll turn it back over to you. I'm having a real poor contact over with the radio 73.
Okay, Ken. Yeah, mighty fine. I copied all that. Now, did you? Are you going to be around for the 73 round, Ken? Over.
Yes, sir. I plan to.
All right, mighty fine. Got your answers here, Double D, and we'll move along then. WX7 Lima Art, New River. Good morning, Art. You're up, W5OG.
Yes, sir.
know that you've had a lot of experience with cold weather operations in Alaska, and lived up there for a number of years. Very interesting. And of course, we all love Alaska. Everybody that's ever been there just really enjoyed it. And even though it's cold, it's a beautiful place. And we'll say 7-3 to you, Art, and have a great day. And glad to hear you in here this morning. Let's see, we'll move along to another visitor, AA6QQ. Interesting call. I don't know if I can hear you or not, but let's give it a try. Alpha 6, Quebec. You're up, Roy, W5OG. Anybody here, Roy?
I got two SCRs and direct, and I don't hear him. He came in on that logger, and he was persistent, so I kept him there, Dale, but I don't hear him.
Okay, thank you, Italy, and likewise, I don't hear him either. Anyway, thanks for, I guess, listening in, Roy, if you are listening. And we will wish you best regards and move along to another visitor. November 2, Lima Oscar. Good morning to you, Bob. You're up, W5OG. I see
Dale,
he's offline.
The second you called for him, he checked out on the AM window.
Yeah, I just noticed that, Lee. Thank you. And we got three folks that are listening. November 9, Kilo Juliet November. That's Norm up in Illinois. And Michael, KJ5IAI in Belton. And Tailhook Navy Steve, K6 Pop X-Ray. Good morning to you three gentlemen. Thanks for being here this morning. All right, that's the bottom of the list. Did I miss anybody on the initial trip through? I think I've got answers by most everybody there. Anybody that I might have missed, call now, W5OG.
AF5FD.
AF5FD, is it Foxtrot Delta?
Alpha, Foxtrot 5, Sierra Papa, AF5FD, Greg, San Antonio, New Mexico, first-time caller.
All right, Greg, mighty fine. Alpha Foxtrot 5, Sierra Papa. There, Lee, if you can put him on the list. And you've landed on the Air Force's Flyers Club down here this Thursday morning, Greg, and do you have anything for the net there? Go ahead.
Yeah, I was tuning around and I heard the word Air Force and it made my ears twitch. I'm not military myself, but my father was a career SAC bomber pilot during the Cold War. He was in World War II as a 22-year-old pilot flying C-47 Unibirds over France after D-Day, dropping out the paratroopers, and then he left the service after the war was over. And in 1951, the Strategic Air Command tracked him down and invited him to come back in as an officer. He did not have a college degree. You could do that at the time. And was flying B-47 Stratojets out of MacDill Air Force Base south of Tampa, Florida, until 1959. Then he was transferred up to Bunker Hill Air Force Base with the 305th Bomb Wing. That's in north central Indiana, outside of Peru, to get into the B-58 Hustler program, the first supersonic bomber. And he was a long-time smoker, so by 1964 he was removed from high-altitude strategic bombing, and we were transferred to Walker Air Force Base south of Roswell, New Mexico. And he would fly in the U-6 de Havilland Beavers out to the dozen Atlas FICBM sites at the time. And then got orders for Vietnam in '66 and was over there twice during the Tet Offensive. Then came back and was stationed at Mesa Air Force Base outside to Sacramento, California, flying the C-28 for the Navigator training students. So I'm an Air Force brat, and I just wanted to check in and say good morning and give you the Reader's Digest version from AF5SV.
Okay, Greg, mighty fine. Well, very interesting. And thank you as an Air Force brat. There are a couple of us here on the frequency that grew up in the Air Force likewise, same way. And I'm one of them. And my younger brother is normally here, WB5DRI. So we can relate to that story about your dad's service, and we do thank you for that. And thanks for joining us this morning and sharing his information.
Okie dokie. Yeah, I have good memories as a kid at Bunker Hill Air Force Base riding my Schwinn bicycle out to the end of the runway. You could do that back in those days, and watching the B-58 shoot landing. And boy, those four-jet engines were so loud you had to put your fingers into your ears. And of course, I did not have a camera at the time or a camcorder, and of course, nobody called any SWAT teams on me like they would probably do today. Anyway, enjoy the chat. I'm talking to W5OG from AF5SV Greg San Angelico, New Mexico.
Okay, mighty fine. Greg, thank you for all of that. And yeah, we got you on the list there. And Bunker Hill, John, WA6LJS, one of our members was stationed there probably about that same time. I don't know. You'd have to, maybe, I don't know how much older John is than you, but I would suspect that he was probably assigned there at Bunker Hill working on B-58s the same time you might have been there. Interesting. All right, well, let me go ahead and move to the question, and I'll dispense with that, and then we'll get back with a quick 73 round. I think we'll have time here if I hurry. All right, Operation Deep Freeze 2025, March the 7th, marked the end of this year's, so we just passed it, a couple of weeks ago. Air Force involvement with the resupply to McMurdo Station, Antarctica, and this year's airlift was mainly notable because of two reasons. First was that they used the new airlift platform, the C-130Hs from the Nevada Air National Guard, to supplement the regular LC-130H ski birds and the C-17s that are normally used. And my question was, what was the second unique feature? And I gave four answers. And it was not Alpha, the USAF use of helicopters at McMurdo Station for the first time. Well, as far as I could find no reference to ever using Air Force helicopters in Antarctica. However, the Navy the Navy has, and also the Army. And the Army was the first one to operate helicopters down there. I thought Lee might mention something about that, but I don't know what the extent of the involvement was. It perhaps was not all that much, but there were the helicopters used in Antarctica even early on, interestingly enough. And the answer B was an ice runway built on the seasonal sea ice of McMurdo Sound that can handle all aircraft, including the C-17. No, that was not unique to this year, but that's what they do. And of course, they have to plan the sea ice. And one of the reasons that they use the C-130s is because as it gets warmer through the Antarctic summer, that ice gets soft, and you can't land the C-17s, but they still can they continue the airlift with the C-130s. So they needed additional C-130s this year. And so, yeah, that's not a correct answer, but they do have a nice runway down there. Interestingly enough, that's not the only place that they use ice runways. I did a Nord resupply in Greenland, and that is an 8,000-foot ice runway for that operation as well. And it's limited to those periods of time when the ice is frozen solid. All right, let's see. Answer Charlie. Lockheed Martin won a $2 billion contract. Actually, that happened 5 years ago. And Lockheed Martin is the contractor that manages the people and facilities that operate and keep the extensive operation there at McMurdo Station operational. Very interesting. I was not aware of that until I discovered it when doing the research for this. And Lockheed Martin has the contract, but it didn't start this year. And answer Delta, which was the correct answer, of course, the airlift of heavy equipment to rebuild a pier at McMurdo Station where ships offload cargo and supplies. Very interesting that they actually get ships in there to resupply the place, and they've just been landing airplanes on the ice. So it's pretty interesting how they do that. But it manages it quite well, actually. But they do have to repair this pier. And so there were a lot of, this year there were a lot of heavy equipment that they airlifted in for that. Now, as to the date, it was 56, but that was the official start of the Operation Deep Freeze. It actually began in December of 55. That was the first summer that the Antarctic summer, which is of course corresponds to our winter, started in December of 55, as many of you pointed out, including James, the first one that corrected my answer there. But we always go by what is the most correct, and it was the 1956 there. The official start date of Operation Deep Freeze, and it's amazing that it has continued that many years when you think about it. That was a long time ago. And every year the Air Force has been involved, and the Navy, and all the other agencies and civilians as well. A lot of civilian operation and contractors to support that existing operation. All right, well, that's enough of the question, and I'm going to go to a quick, I'll take a quick standby and see if we have any additional check-ins before we start the 73 round. Any other check-ins? Last call at W5OG. Call now.
KB0LTT Mobile.
Well, there's Larry. KB0LTT Mobile. Good morning, Larry. Go ahead. What do you have for the net this morning? W5OG.
You and all the flyers. It's been a while since I checked in. I'm officially back to work and on the road again. Nice signal coming into Florida, picking up a load out of Richie Brothers, going out to Fargo, North Dakota. Good morning. I'll just be one and done and say my 73. KB0LTT.
All right, Larry. Well, safe travels and on the way to Fargo, North Dakota. Speaking of the North Country, I've been in Fargo in the wintertime. Very interesting place. You normally would want to avoid it in the winter, but perhaps this time of the year it's not too bad. Anyway, Larry, have a good trip, and glad that you could join us briefly here this morning. All right, let's go ahead and start. I see Don is still in there. Let's just see if he wants to start us off with the 73 round there, if you would, John. WA6LJS, bring in Don, W5OG.
K0ZNC, you're up, WA6LJS, relay, Don.
Thank you, Dale, for using me. Oh, yeah, I appreciate it very much. Not to say, I just found out, I answered the question of I got the whole answer line to it that way. And I didn't get the question, but I got the wrong answer. Can't run them all. With that, good man. And thanks to everybody for getting me on there. With that, Thursday, we'll see.
WA6LJS, back to Ned.
Okay, thank you, John, and mighty fine, Don. 7-3 to you. Have a great day there in Longmont. All right, Cliff, W5PIX, Mobile, 7-3 round. Cliff, W5OG.
W5OG, W5PIX, Mobile. When the 57 Chevrolet came out, so, we used to go to the dealerships, most car shows. Anyway, no big deal. Let's go on Echo Lake. There's W5PIX Mobile here in Coppers Cove, Texas.
All right, Cliff, mighty fine. Yeah, barely could hear you this morning on the FDR there. Not to your normal strength, so maybe your location here in Coppers Cove. Anyway, 7-3, Cliff, we'll see you on Echo Link there. Lee, thanks for the help again, Lee, N5BE, W5OG.
W5OG N5BE. Dale, thank you for setting me up on an Army helicopter item. I appreciate it. Yeah, the Army had UH-1Bs, Bravo models, down there in Antarctica, and boy, I can't, and then later D models, but I wonder how loud those blades were in that cold weather. And when I was first married, we used to buzz the house, when I was in the reserve, and my lovely wife would come out and just stand there with her hands on her hips, shaking her head. But we would set up way out there, a couple miles away, and just set that torque right where those blades would start flapping, and make a beeline for the house. And she would just look at us, shaking her head, going, "Oh, there they go again, boys being boys," and just turn around and walk back in the house. So I never impressed her with the blade flap of a Huey, Dale. Enjoyed it today. Well done. Enjoyed that question. W5OG N5B.
Okay, Lee. Yeah, old Huey had a unique pop. You could not escape it. It gave itself away. Oh, my. Somebody's tuning up on our frequency. Well, that's good. Look at him all tuned up here. Oh, there he is. He quit. So that's great. All right, let's go to Mike. WW5ENZ, 7-3 round Mike, W5OG.
Okay, 70, yeah, I got it. W5OG, WW5ENZ, yeah, it was interesting. And that was, that gentleman that just checked in, that was interesting too. It's funny, a lot of us may have crossed his path at certain times when his dad was stationed, but interesting stuff. Anyway, got to get a bunch of yard work done today, so I'm going to say 73s, everybody. Have a great day, and we'll try and catch you tomorrow. WW5ENZ, clear.
Okay, Mike, 7-3 to you, and let's go to Bill, W2WLD, 7-3 round, Bill, W5OG.
Okay, thank you, Dale. Great question, enjoyed it. And we'll say 7-3 to all. W5OG, W2WLD.
All righty, Bill, 7-3 to you. John, WA6LJS, 7-3 round, W5OG.
Okay, thanks, Dale. W5OG, WA6LJS, 73, everybody. Good net today. Conditions are pretty good. I'm having a little difficulty with Arizona, but everybody else I'm hearing locally. And interesting to hear AF5SP Greg there. I was at Bunker Hill in the 305th from 1960 to 64. So working on the fire control radar system on the B-58 Hustler. So it looks like his dad was probably there at the same time. So very interesting to hear about that. 73s, and back to you, Dale. W5OG, WA6LJS.
Comment. Go ahead, comment.
Hey, this is Greg again, AF5SP, the last station you were at Bunker Hill. We were there from 1959 to 64. So we, in fact, were there at the same time. Of course, you probably know the base was renamed after Gus Grissom was lost in that capsule fire, the Apollo fire, back about 1967, I think. Anyway, the Grissom Air Reserve Base now, and I've been back a number of times on business trips. I'm a long-time nuclear reactor engineer, and I would head back east for training sessions and would take the opportunity to stop back by the base, go back to our old two homes on Norton Street. We lived at 1628 Norton Street early on, and then moved to 28 Schilling Street on the west side of the base, and have such good memories from there. Anyway, back to Ned from AF5SP.
Okay, Greg, mighty fun. Yeah, just think, John, when you were during the Cuban Missile Crisis, when you were out there standing guard, he might have ridden up in his bicycle. All good stuff, you guys. Anyway, 7-3 to you there, John, and have a good day. Maybe we'll see you over on Echo Link there. And thanks for that, Greg. Very interesting. I suspected that you had overlapped there. That's the unique thing about this net, this group, that there's a lot of commonality, and the world is a small place after all. All right, Ray, WB2JJO, 7-3 round, Ray, W5OG.
W5OG from WB2JJO. As usual, all these nets are excellent, and I wanted to say thank you for keeping us abreast on current events. We would have never known that if you didn't bring that to our attention, so thank you very much for that. And so with that, I'll say 73, and I'll catch everybody probably tomorrow. W5OG from WB2JJO, 7-3, off.
Yeah, 7-3, Ray. Have a great day, and see you later. W5ABI, Joe, 7-3 round, W5OG.
Yeah, W5OG and the Flyers, W5ABI. Good net, good question, Dale. 73 to you and all the Flyers, and hope to be on tomorrow. W5OG, W5ABI.
Okay, Joe. Yeah, 7-3 to you, and let's go to Bob, K2SJP, W5OG. Go ahead, Bob.
Great much, Dale. We'll see you guys over on Echo Link. 73 to everybody else. K2SJP, back to Nurse Control.
All right, Bob, see you over on Echo Link, and over to you, Charlie, K4YDB, W5OG.
W5OG, K4YDB. Well, good net today. I did enjoy it. Question was really interesting. I enjoyed that as well. Anyway, 73s, everybody have a good day, and we will try this again tomorrow. K4YDB, back to that.
All right, 7-3, Charlie. And Mike, KQ16, W5OG. You're up, Mike.
W5OG and the group KQ63. Good to hear everybody this morning. All the usual suspects, with the exception of the guys that we don't hear. God, I'm just curious. I'm doing a bunch of photos for Charlie. I've been sticking a location here if you want on the website. And who's now that Janet's not around? Who do I send my little bio and photos to on the website? So just a question. Anyway, 73 to everybody. We'll try to we always learn something around here. So W5OG and the group, KQ60.
Well, it's a good question, Mike. As far as I know, you still send it to Jennifer. She is still our webmaster. And yeah, you can send your bio, and everyone, all the members are encouraged, of course, to do that. Or you could, I'll change it or put new photos in there, whatever you want to do. But I think, let me just check with John, WA6LJS. John, is Jennifer, where is she? She's still managing the web, our website. Is she not there, John, over?
Yeah, QSL. Yeah, Jen is doing that. And I would encourage everybody, there's several of you on here even today that haven't sent in their bios. And please be sure to do that. Any pictures you have, or even if you don't have any pictures, just your a brief bio of what you did in the Air Force. That makes a very interesting reading for our members there. And we have quite a few that have not done that yet. So, but Jennifer is handling that, and all you do is send it to her via email. And it's webmaster@airforceflyersclub.org. And she'll put them right up there. W5OG, WA6LJS.
All right, thank you, John. Did you copy that, Mike, KQ6E, W5OG?
Roger. Good copy. I will send them along to us.
All right, mighty fine. Well, 7-3 to you, Mike, and have a great day. Let's go to Ken, the AE7SX at Kingman. 7-3 round, Ken, W5OG.
DHL aircraft, one of these days I have to look at. And also I get a lot of military stuff flying over there. 2 off-speed last week, and just the other day I saw a 50 passengers flying over there. So 7 and let's go tomorrow.
All right, Ken, well, glad you could join us this morning. And glad to have you on HF where we can chat. 7-3 to you, have a great day. And let's see if Greg is still there. AF5SP, Greg, any last minute comments there before we close the net? W5OG.
Yeah, I'm still here. Greg, AF5SP. And for those that might have been stationed at Bunker Hill, we were there from 59 to 64. I attended Randall School from the 3rd through the 7th grade. And we were there during the Cuban Missile Crisis, and it was very frightening. I was 11 years old at the time, and I was old enough to understand the consequences. And I certainly remember when President Kennedy came on the TV and interrupted the normal programming to talk about the Navy's quarantine of Cuba. And then was down in the basement again when they broke in the normal programming to announce that U-2 pilot was shot down over Cuba, an Air Force major. And I just thought it was the end. Of course, it didn't happen. And one of the funniest things, I used to hang out down at Pipe Creek as a kid, catching snakes and snapping turtles and going fishing. And one time us kids pulled must have been a 25-pound snapping turtle out of Pipe Creek. The thing was so mean you couldn't believe it. It's any wonder we even came home with all of our fingers. And we crammed that thing into the side basket on my swing bicycle and drove back to the base, and the guard at the gate on Route 218 almost wouldn't let us on base with this thing. It was so mean. Kind of a funny story. And I'm a railroad freak, so I used to hang out on the railroad tracks on the north side of the base. That was the double track to Pennsylvania Railroad main line from Columbus, Ohio through Logansport, Indiana to Chicago. And it was very busy. Then the nickel plate ran on the east side of the base up to Michigan City, Indiana. And then the CNO, the Chesapeake and Ohio, came through Peru. So as a young kid and being a railroad fanatic, I was in seventh heaven with all those things to do around the base there. And I got my first job at the golf course, picking up golf balls after 3rd grade, or after we got out of school. I was in the 3rd grade at the time. and I made 35 cents an hour at the Bunker Hill Air Force Base golf course, picking up golf balls from the driving range. Anyway, that's the Reader's Digest version from AF5SP. Greg, San Antonio, New Mexico.
All right, Greg. Very interesting. Very entertaining as well. Thank you for all of that. And, yeah, I guess you're right there at Sandia. Is that, are you retired now, Greg, or are you still working? Over?
No, I'm not retired. I got fed up with all the political correctness that I experienced in the nuclear workplace in this country and just bailed out. So I'm a licensed nuclear engineer in California and New Mexico, and also a licensed mechanical engineer in New Mexico. And I'm in between employment engagements right now. I don't need the money. I have no debt. And I live on 4.5 acres on the east side of the Sandia Mountains in a gate guarded community with all kinds of wild animals. And my resume is still on LinkedIn, so I get contacts almost weekly for employment, but I turn it all down. But if I got invited to join a group that's working on a deep space nuclear rocket engine, I'd probably jump at that. Anyway, go to the gym frequently, still ride the Harley. I'm an avid big game hunter in the fall, ski in the winter, and play a little racquetball when I have the chance. So I have plenty of stuff to do, and I now don't know how I ever had time to work. So I am not retired from AL5SP.
All right, Greg, very interesting. Well, I've skied Sandia, so I know right where you are there, and I like Albuquerque. 7-3 to you there, Greg. Enjoyed it, and I'll see. We need to close down here just shortly, so I'm going to take one last standby for any last-minute comments or any last-minute check-ins for the Air Force's Flyers Club Net. So call now, W5OG.
Comment.
Go ahead, John, with a comment. W5OG.
Yeah, just a quick comment for Greg there. Greg, was your dad a 58 pilot, or was he one of the crew there? I'm wondering there, over.
Yeah, he was a pilot. Absolutely. And as a kid, I used to watch them shoot landings all the time out there at the base. And later on, after he retired, we were talking about all this, and I asked him what he thought about the B-58. And he said it was an awful lot of airplanes for one pilot to fly, because, you know, you had a bombardier navigator and a DSO, and you only had one pilot. So it was a handful, I would imagine. And he knew a number of people involved in accidents, who didn't make it out. So there was an accident rate with that aircraft from AL5SP.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, well, it was a wonderful aircraft. I still think today they should have never retired it, but it was a political ball game there, I think, back then. Well, very good, very interesting to hear you there. Come back and join us in the net again. We're here every day, Greg, and very interesting information to bring back old memories there. I may have even met your dad during one of our debriefings. I don't know. I was, of course, involved with the DSO system, and we did have briefings. So anyway, 73s to you, and come back again. Back to you, Dale.
All right, John. Mighty fine there, Greg. Any other check-ins before we close? Call now, W5OG.
Kilo Lima 7 Yankee Kilo.
All right, we have a couple of them. We need to close down the net here just shortly, because there is another net that follows that couple kilohertz up here just shortly. Kilo Lima 7 Yankee Kilo, and also Whiskey Golf 7 Bravo. I got you there. First, KL7YK, good morning. You're up. Anything for the net, W5OG?
Nope, just waiting on the AP net to start. So I remembered you guys were here, so I figured I better check in. It's been a couple of days. Nothing but a net. Back to you.
All right, mighty fine, Ron. I got you there, and appreciate your joining us this morning. How about Chris, Whiskey Golf 7 Bravo? Anything for the net before we close it down, Chris? W5OG. Go ahead.
Okay, Flyers. Was touched down there in the Gulf, so that was what the astronauts called. And other than that, we're just keep studying your single stage to orbit aircraft, and we got to figure this out, how to get up to orbit aircraft style. So all kinds of fun stuff going on here. WD-17, back to us.
All right, Chris, mighty fine. Yeah, that was surreal with the Dolphins. Oh, my goodness. It couldn't be much more entertaining than all that. That was a perfect landing and a beautiful day. Anyway, 7-3 to you, Chris. Thanks for joining us just for the brief time here. Anybody else before we close? W5OG. Whiskey 5 Echo Tango Zulu. Good morning. And what do you have for our net? Over. Steve, mighty fine. Anything else that you'd like to add before we close? Over. Yeah, you're a good signal there from Hernando, Mississippi, I guess. Anyway, Steve, thank you for your checking in. All right, this has been the Thursday edition of the Air Force's Flyers Club Net. We'll adjourn here and go over to Echo Link. Those of you that would like to join us are welcome to do so. We have a AFFC node on Echo Link, and we'll do a quick 73 round over there. So I'll go ahead and close the HF portion here now. W5OG, thanks for all the participation and the excellent comments. This net is always enjoyable. So thanks to the great folks that check in and support us. W5OG now closing the Air Force's Flyers Club Net and returning the frequency to normal amateur use. See you over on Echo Link.